What is up, guys? Back at it again with our podcast. It's your host, Zad, and we have our co host, Vase, who's brought on a special guest. Vase, can you do an introduction, please?
Course, we got the great Sania Malik. She's a avid, cricket fan. I think she's one of those people that when there's any cricket match going on, especially pertaining to Pakistan, you see her stories, you see her reels, they blow up on social media, and she is a diehard fan. When I say that, I mean it, diehard fan. Sania, it's an honor to have you on the podcast. And the first person that came to my mind for a post game, a few days back, I was like, when India and Pakistan play, one fan I know who's super into it is you. So, we're extremely glad to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here. Thank you. Thanks for your message. I was actually really excited since you told me. I was like, okay, I can talk somewhere else now, not just on my page.
Yeah, just know he's
Yeah. We've been going back and forth on the group chats last night, and I mean, obviously, I think we're all disappointed in the result. We did expect Pakistan to win. I think Vase and I said it last night that we were expecting Pakistan to win. I mean, the thing is that Pakistan, I think we were expecting a little more fight. We saw some fans leaving after the 15th, 20th over, basically. So, like, what happened, guys? What went wrong? Um, Take it away, Vase. What do you think happened?
I mean, honestly, I think what went wrong, everything went wrong before the tournament. I mean, we brought this up in the last podcast as well, and I can't even go back on my word because on yesterday's pod, I predicted a win for Pakistan, but I can't say anything else. Obviously, I have to say they're going to win. But our main thing that was lacking when they even announced the team was the spinners. UAE and Pakistan spinning conditions. Bring on some full-time spinners. Last night's match, it was controlled by spinners. We only had one full-time spinner, and he did great. Bowled all 10 overs, conceded 28 runs, took one wicket. He was the only one that showed fight and aggression. And I keep reiterating this. We keep talking about this world-class, pace trio. Okatesi, honestly speaking, where you're getting smacked out of the park. Shaheen took one wicket of Rohit, but everybody
He
and
took
their
he,
mom
he
knows.
took two, but with a strike rate of run rate of 9 and over.
Yeah,
Right, yeah. So I mean, he took that one, in the first, few overs in the power play. But it's like everybody knows where you're gonna bowl at the end of the day. Um, again, yesterday's pod, I kept saying, show fight, show aggression. Your izzat's on the line at the end of the day, right? Our
yeah,
izzat's on the line, and they didn't have that fight once again. T20 and ODI, keep reiterating, are two different facets of the game. These bowlers are only T20 bowlers, but they can bowl 4 overs. They can't bowl a full 10, dude. Their fitness is not there. Nothing's there. I mean, I don't have much more to say. It sucks. And if you want to go further with it, Sanya, please.
yeah. Take it away.
First of all, this was very refreshing to hear from Wase because if you look at his stories, it does not seem like he would ever criticize any of us. And I'm the one who's saying, okay, please stop, please be realistic. And this is like a very I really enjoyed what he said because I totally 100% agree with him. And for the first time, because I'm always fighting with him on his stories. But he's absolutely right. Our bowlers, I just have lost faith in our bowling attack. It's been 2 years now since Shaheen Afridi and Naseem Shah, they both had their injuries. They have not come back to their regular strength at all. They're so predictable, like you said. They know where they're going to bowl. And I just feel like, I don't know if they don't do their homework or if they're just not good enough. I honestly just don't know anymore because it's been way too long. We've been giving them so many chances. It's like so many people. If you're not going to perform, leave and make space for somebody who's good. And we are a population of 240 plus million people. You're going to tell me that we cannot produce bowlers? That's untrue. We just don't let anybody new in because we want to just keep our squad in and just favor the oldies, favor their favorites, and just like they just destroyed us. And it's just so pathetic because it's our bowling was supposed to be, it's always been our strongest point. Like we've never
Exactly.
depended on our batting, it's always the bowlers. Even a score of 150, we used to say at a time that okay, we might be still able to do it.
We do.
And
Yeah.
now it's like if it's 300 plus, then we might
Even
like
then,
depend.
even then, we're scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Even then
think
we might.
today, even if we had 320 on the board, we might have lost with that kind of bowling. So
I
I
swear to
mean,
God.
Yeah, the way I look at it, Vase and I were talking like before the toss and everything, and I was like, man, Pakistan, we need to bat first, put runs on the board.
Yeah.
We won the toss. I started celebrating. I was like, man, this is gonna
Yep.
be a good day. But like just the Pakistan, just the batting, I don't know what's happened. Like, they're playing ODIs like in the 1980s. Like this is not even 1990 batting, like Imam, I mean, okay, his first game in, he's playing on probably the biggest game of his career because I don't think he's coming back after this. He scored a 10 ball 25. The thing is, we were talking about Usman Khan. We wanted someone like that to open, maybe, just so he can like go at it with some aggression. Like you saw Rohit Sharma batting. He hit
Exactly.
a couple shots, top edged, it went for four. Fortune favors the brave at the end of the day. You take some risks, and sometimes it ends up working out. Babar Azam, yeah, we have some differing opinions. He played well. He hit a couple good shots, but he always does that, right? He hit a four on the previous ball. That ball was not there to drive. It was a back of the length delivery that he tried to drive and he nicked off. Now I'm gonna talk about Mohammad Rizwan. That was one of the worst innings I think I've ever seen in my life. I thought
What?
that I thought that Babar Azam innings was
For me,
like top of my list against New Zealand, but this innings against that Rizwan played, bro, 59 strike rate. I think he had 46 off
46.
77 balls. Yes. He had a compilation of finding the fielder. They played the package on TV. I think he was giving Virat Kohli like fielding practice. So, what do you guys think about that performance from Rizwan?
me personally, I have no comment at all. So if you want to take it over, I'm at a loss of words. I'm not going to say anything about it. You can go ahead, Sanya.
I mean, I obviously expected better from him. First, being a captain, and second, he does have that ability in him where he can, rotate the strike and get runs. I thought, I mean, I first of all, I thought South went 2 overs too soon. And I think, no, I think what's his name? Sorry, what's his name? Imam. I'm Imam. I think I'm gonna mainly blame him for this game because
Who,
the
Imam?
Imam because
Oh,
listen to me, the most important over is the power play. He played almost 5 6 overs just by himself, and what did he give us? Just 10 runs. He didn't do anything at all. Like he was just literally just blocking the damn ball. He wasn't even taking any singles. I'm like, bhai, tu ek maar ke just make a run at least, rotate the damn strike. And then I was actually decided to pray that I hope he just gets out. Like he just
yeah,
gets out.
I was
He
too
just
at one
gets
point.
out.
You guys are
He got
bogus.
out. He got out. Rizwan came. I know he came, and I think South came. No, yeah, South came.
So
They both came under pressure. Fine, they had to stabilize the innings. But once you stabilize the innings and you get set, what does that mean? That means that you're set now. You're warmed up. You're in it. Itna pressure nahi hai. You can handle that from there. So once you get set, that's the whole point. You get set, and then it's like, oh my God, these two batsmen are set. It's going to be really hard for them to get
But
out.
that's the thing.
But
They
then,
got set, and
yeah,
they both had
that's it.
chances, and they
And
both threw them away.
they
So
literally threw it away, and both of them. And then the thing is that it's like you know what's required. You know you have to put the runs in. So just leave. If Hardik is so hard to play, I don't understand why. Then just leave him. Just don't
what?
play him. Like what the hell? They
Hardik
they just
Pandya has
liked
become
taking.
Pakistan's kryptonite.
They just like taking the innings deep when we have time and again showed that we cannot take the damn innings deep. You have to do it earlier in the game and then go slow, whatever. Do not go slow thinking that we're gonna accelerate because we're not gonna do that. Oh, but
we
that's just what
we don't
happens.
and
have the batting to accelerate in the
and
end.
also one thing's it. So the reason I kept saying we must chase is because these guys have no damn plan. At least when you're chasing, you know that, okay, this is a set target. We have to, score 280, 300, etc. When they're batting first, they're clueless. They have no damn plan. They literally
Okay,
have no plan.
okay, Vase, if they
I
put
agree.
320 on the board, like what
I
happened
know.
against New Zealand, and they had 22
No,
runs
no,
in the
no.
first 10
Yeah.
overs.
I know. Honestly, what is their
So
batting or fielding?
where's the
Yeah,
plan?
they have no plan. Literally.
I thought 280 was good minimum. We had to put 280, not even the
I
275 that the score predictor was saying, because I know Dubai is not a very high scoring ground,
it
but
is
280
not.
would have been a good target, at least 280. Okay,
Yeah,
300 balls, 280 would have still been okay. But this was just like, I could not believe that, Rizwan, Saud, Tayyab, they all fell all together. I'm like, what the, I mean,
But also,
I
if you
just
if
know.
you look at our match against India, as soon as one wicket falls, they fall
Balls,
like
just
flies.
line, dominoes.
2023 World Cup, we played in India. At one point, where I think we were 150 for two. 150 for two. Rizwan and Babar were doing a great partnership. All out for 191. So as soon as
Hmm.
one falls, dude, it's literally a domino effect.
That's it.
no, the thing is with the Pakistan batting, like you see other countries bat and other countries go about how to build an innings. Like in the first 10 overs, like there's no intent being shown. You're not using your feet. You're not hitting the ball over the top. Not a single ball was hit over the top. I think Babar had one
Babar hit
shot
one, yeah.
that he hit over mid on against the spinner. I think it was Kuldeep. He hit one
Kuldeep, I
or
think.
yeah.
Or maybe
That was the
Aksar, I don't
only
know.
shot that he hit like that was hit out of aggression. No, none of our players are hitting shots in the V. If you see Shubman, all of his shots were down the ground. They're hitting shots over the top. We're just lacking in that space. I don't know if people are just telling them not to hit like like are
Yeah.
the coaches not telling them to hit these kind of shots or
Trust me, I
they just
think,
don't have the ability? What's
yeah,
going on?
I think they just don't have the ability at this point. They honestly don't, because there's literally no excuse. You're playing for Pakistan, and it's high time you perform. It's high time. I'm going to give them all a big zero,
Man,
minus.
Um, dude. Also, one thing is, I think when they're out in the field, dude, they're playing scared. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So if you're in the
Mm-hmm.
power play, they're just playing too scared. Like, dude,
there
go for
was nothing to lose today. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
they're out of the tournament now, basically. So,
Yes, man, I'm back, dude. My phone overheated, buddy.
oh shit,
Overheat
yeah,
हो गया
yeah,
उसको भी गुस्सा चढ़ रहा है पाकिस्तान पे. I feel it. I
कसम
feel
से bro.
it.
yeah. So, I'll edit that part out. But where were we? So, like, the thing with the Pakistani batsmen is like no rotation of strike. Like, like they built a 100-run partnership, but
Mm-hmm.
India never felt under pressure because there was no constant flow of runs. I think the most runs scored in the innings was the second last over that Shami bowled, where they scored like 12 or 13 runs off that over where Kushdil hit a six and Haris hit a six. I think before that, 9 runs was the most runs scored on any over. So just the lack of intent, strike rotation. I think South played decently. Like he overachieved in my books for sure. I
Chota
never
Don.
thought he was gonna score 62. Had some innovative shots. He played a couple scoops, he hit a
Scoop.
couple reverse sweeps, but at the end it looked like he either got tired, so I don't know if it's a fitness issue. Like he tried getting out like 2 times, I feel like. एक तो उसका कैच छोड़ दिया,
क्या
उसने
छोड़ा
दोबारा मारा. It was like one bounce to the fielder. The third time he tried to hit, it went straight to the fielder. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know.
I
Let's
think
talk.
I think he was just trying to go for it now, because it was the 33rd over, and we still
Mhm.
had a lot of batting left.
Yo,
So even at that point, I'm like, okay, one of them has to charge. So
Mhm.
he was just trying to just do that, and because sometimes when you get hot, it's just then you're in that momentum, and you can score, and that's what he was trying to do. But anytime any of our batsmen, the four batsmen that we have, did that, it was we just got out.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody capitalized on it.
let's talk a little bit about Indian bowling and fielding because I thought they were really good in my opinion. I think the Indian pace bowlers hit a good length in the beginning. They didn't let Pakistan batsmen try to settle in. And then obviously the spinners like Kuldeep, he was bowling in the death overs, not letting Pakistan hit at all. And man, like the Indian fielding, like they dropped 2 catches, but
Mm.
Akshar Patel might be the best fielder of all time. His direct
The
hit,
direct hits,
then
Direct
yeah.
hits, man.
yeah, then he threw a one bounce throw from the boundary to get Haris Rauf out. Like they were just on point today. They wanted it more. Harshit Rana like gave like 30 runs in 8 overs, bowling slower variations. Kushdil Shah couldn't hit him at all. So I mean, they were on point. And Hardik Pandya is Pakistan's kryptonite. I before he came to bowl, I knew he was gonna get at least one wicket, and then he got Babar out and disrespected him by giving him a little wave.
Bye
So
bye. Yep.
like Pakistan, we just wanted them to have some more aggression. Like they're taunting you guys, and you're like kissing their ass. So
We
what?
tried, we tried, we just couldn't do it. We're just not good enough. That's just
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
my answer.
No,
There's no
but I agree.
answer. We
Yeah,
cannot do it.
dude.
We're not capable of it.
Okay, let's cover the Indian batting a little bit and Pakistan bowling. Like, I don't know if there's much to cover, but I'll start off in saying that like Shaheen obviously like g- started off well with that good in swinging Yorker to Rohit, but I think it went downhill from there. I think the way that Indians bowled, they read the conditions better again. I think that's what we're running into time and time again. We aren't reading the conditions at home in Karachi or Lahore, and we aren't able to read the conditions in the UAE as well. Like these guys are bowling full half volley deliveries where Indians kept the ball back of length, either good or shorter length, where these guys are giving the ball like right in the slot for the drives. You saw Rohit driving, Shubman driving, Virat Kohli driving. And to be honest, their batsmen are just seem more elite where they're finding the gaps and middling the ball. We just had a very hard time getting anything going. I thought Abrar bowled very, very well. He was the only guy that was worth mentioning. That send off was kind of amazing. I like that. Respect to
I'm
him
glad, dude. Yeah.
because he showed a little bit of like, you know what, fuck you guys too. So, um, yeah, what do you guys think went wrong bowling wise? I mean, that Naseem, I mean, Rasa, you had high expectations for him in the tournament coming in.
I mean, dude, he didn't exceed the expectations. He didn't meet the expectations. I don't have much to say about the bowling, but one thing I want to highlight is Hitman comes in. He's their opener, and I think he hit a six. I think one of the first few overs,
Yeah,
right? If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken,
to
it took
Naseem.
our it took our batsmen about 40 overs to hit, the first six.
Yep,
That just shows the intent. And when it comes to skill, as Sania was saying as well, the Indian players are just more skillful at the end of the day. There was not one point in the match where the Indian players themselves thought that they were going to lose the match.
exactly.
Even in the power play when we dropped, I think we scored 55 in the power play, and I clapped my hands because last game you guys dropped 22 in 10 overs. So there wasn't one point in the match where India thought they were going to lose, and that's because their players are more skillful. When I'm playing pickup basketball against an eighth grader, right, and he's winning 8-3, I'm fine. I know I'm going to win because I'm more skillful than him. And the same thing happens in these matches where India's cool, calm, collective because they've put in the work, they've put in the fitness. They're in the nets every single
Yeah.
day, whether it's bowling or batting wise. They're just far more superior than us.
And it's also, I think it's also the mindset. We just come out scared. We come out on the back foot. We're so scared, and then we just never get out of it. It just shows. It just shows in the body language. It shows on their faces. It shows in the whole in the dressing room. Like I don't see because and it's because they know that they're not good. It's that
Yeah,
simple as that. If they knew that, okay, if I was confident, I would be confident if I knew what I was gonna do. I won't be scared. Yeah, fine, nerves hoti hain, but you're a professional player. You're an international player. There's no, game of nerves. Like I don't buy that. India, it's the same for India. They can say the same thing. It's just that they put in the time, they put in the effort. They're definitely so much more fitter than us, like 100 times more. They actually have a good domestic structure, which they have to play.
yeah, they're
So
investing
they
in them. Yep.
yeah. So it just shows it has to start from the foundation, bottom up, and our bottom sucks. There's no bottom at all. It just starts from here onward, and the pool here is a big zero.
Yeah, I
So
think
you
at
just
this
there's
point, I
only so
mean,
much.
I was listening to Wasim Akram and a couple of the other analysts, and they're saying like, agar haar rahe hain, to might as well lose with young blood, right? Get out
I
with the
agree.
old and bring in
I
the new.
agree. I
Like, what's
agree.
the point of having? If the people aren't playing to win, like,
Yeah.
why do we need Rizwan? We have Mohammad Haris. We
Yeah.
have other guys waiting. Babar
Yeah.
Azam ki kya zurat hai agar game nahi jita raha banda? Like, look at Virat Kohli. I mean, we haven't mentioned him, bro, but like, he
I
has not
love that
scored
guy.
against any team. But play him against Pakistan, and the guy's scoring a century, and he just has that mental thing against Pakistan. कि इनकी लेनी है. और वो हमारी ले रहा है बस तो I mean
And not just that, he's such a super. I mean, we can't even compare him to any single person in our team. Not even like not even close. So in the past, I would even say 4 or 5 years. I know they all compared him to Babar and all, but that was back in 2021. It's been 4 years since, and there hasn't been a good game from Babar ever since. Like, how much can we now at this point? I'm like, maybe he's just not good.
yeah I
It's
mean
just we don't need that from him.
if we're
It's
gonna
sad.
lose, then why not like get rid of the Shaheens, get rid
Yeah,
of
I
Haris.
agree.
He's 31. I mean,
Yeah,
bring in Mohammad Wasim Jr., bring in Abbas Afridi. There's guys waiting. I mean,
yeah,
we're never gonna find out if we don't give him the chance. That's all I'm
exactly.
saying. I'd Khushdil, Tayyab Tahir. I mean, dude, that dismissal from Tayyab Tahir was one of the worst like three balls in innings I've ever seen in my life. Dude, he missed a straight ball. Like
Really,
he
bro.
Ravindra Jadeja made him dance. Like he did was doing the salsa. And then don't get me started on Shaheen's batting. Dude took a review
Why
like
are you? There was a yard
Then,
gap between bat and ball. Why are you taking a review? And
he
he was
took an
so
instant
confident.
review.
Instant. Pata
I
nahi,
mean,
bro.
like
I mean, what can we expect from the? I mean, my dad was like, "Oh, now our tail is going to be exposed." I'm like, "What do you mean tail is going to be exposed? Because we can barely see the tail. It's like
Yeah.
they came in and they're gone. Like, what do you mean exposed? There is none." Before we used to still have Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, Shoaib Akhtar, Azhar Mahmood, Razak, they could still hold the bat and we used to
Hmm.
bank on them. But now it's just like there's nothing at all. We can't, it's just like, oh, maybe if it's a good day, we'll win. That's that. We have absolutely no faith in our team. It's because they're just not good.
at the end of the day, like
I
we
don't
talked
cry
about
anymore.
in the beginning of the
I
podcast,
don't cry
the
anymore. Is that what you said?
Uh, I I used to honestly cry. And I'm not joking. I used to cry. I used to ruin my whole day. And my husband used to say, "Okay, you're watching the game. Just make sure तुम्हारा mood बाद में ठीक रहे." And I'm like, and it actually used to affect me. But now it's like I'm not even sad. It's like, yeah, I
I'm
know we're pathetic. So
I'm
what?
not gonna lie, it still ruins my day, and I still sometimes
No,
shed a tear. I was at the 2024
no.
India-Pakistan game in New York, and I promise to you, after we lost that
Oh,
impossible game,
that I
I was
cried.
crying.
I cried.
So,
I actually cried in that game. I did.
yeah, after
I did.
harassing to 20,000 Indian fans, I was being the one harassed at the end. So
Again
I'll
in
never
that
forget that.
match, again in that match, Rizwan was taking the innings deep. Bhai,
Yeah.
And
you had won the game with 4 overs before. Why were you just blocking and just not taking any runs? And then Imad Wasim, if I could see him outside somewhere, I don't know what I'd do. But
dude,
that
he
game
wasn't
was
even
just
running. Yeah, he wasn't even
Yeah,
that's
he
what I'm
I
wasn't a
saying.
remember.
He
single.
wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
Man, I saw
Only
him
person who
smoking a
tried
square on
was
Instagram.
Naseem. The only person who tried that match was Naseem. We took
Yeah.
that game from that boy because उसने bowling इतनी अच्छी की. And he was literally dying for the match.
No,
Yeah.
I mean
He
the
was the only
bowlers
one.
did really well that match. I thought like, bro, we needed
Seriously,
48
120.
runs from 48 balls at one point. I remember looking up
And
at the
eight,
scoreboard. I
eight
was with
wickets
my
in hand.
friend. Yeah, I was with my friend. I said, "यहाँ से तो game हार ही नहीं सकते. It's
नहीं सकते.
impossible." And what happened after that is I'll never forget. But let's
I
keep
won't
it
forget either.
on track here. Is like I think the root of all the defeats and doing so poorly comes back to the selection. What is the chairman doing? What are the selectors doing? What is Akib Javed doing? They've kicked out foreign coaches now twice that came in that and big names, Gary Kirsten and Jason Gillespie. They've kicked out two foreign coaches now because they wanted to overhaul the team and do it a different way. And they've brought in some guy that's been a part of PCB multiple times before. The same shit all the time. Akib Ball, apparently. Um,
My
so
eyes
what
are
are
on
your guys'
Vase.
thoughts on this? Because Vasa started getting hyper.
I wasn't getting hyper because, dude, 24 hours before the match, you have Akib Javed. What the hell was the quote? We have a surprise for India? What
Yeah,
the hell was the surprise? If anything, you
he was
surprised
playing
us.
some
I
Just
mind
know.
hold
games,
that
I
I
shit.
think.
I know what
Yeah,
the
please.
surprise was.
It was a
It
surprise.
was that the surprise was that India thought we were going to attack and we did not.
Yeah,
That was the
honestly,
surprise.
at that point, dude, it's like, it's ridiculous. And I mean, dude, the whole selection process too. You knew your opener Syme was injured about 3 months ago when he fractured his ankle. And you keep shuffling the order right before the tournament. We don't know who's going to open. 24 hours before, we were having a discussion on who should open. Should it be Imam and Usman Khan? Should Babur come one down, which is his natural position? You know, the entire team's just a freaking hellhole. We just don't know what's going on.
Even the
Oh,
selectors don't know who to select
Mm-hmm.
because they only have like a pool of 15 people. like, इसी को shuffle करते रहो हमारे ही बंदे हैं.
oh, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, sorry. I think my internet crashed or something. Sorry.
Okay, it's all
Just a
good. Yeah.
bad day overall, I think.
Yeah, honestly. Phones overheating, network crashing.
The- Yeah, so the surprise was the Akib surprise, baby. That's all I gotta say. We'll
Yeah,
never know the surprise.
literally one ever surprise.
So,
I honestly
I mean,
thought
let's. No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
you can go on. No, bro. I honestly thought Fahim Rana Ashraf was gonna make his debut for Champions Trophy, dude. What's the point of him on the team? 8 average. Again, all rounder. Shoot, man.
I mean, dude, the selection was never good. We got rid of a young guy who was a good ass fielder too, Mohammad Irfan Khan Niazi, who was playing in the series before, and they just somehow dropped him for guys like Tayyip Tahir and Kushdil. So like that just doesn't make sense. Let's look ahead. I mean, is there any chance that Pakistan math Champions Trophy semifinal, guys?
There's no
No,
way in hell. No
no
way in hell.
way,
I
no
was reading
way.
a stat
I
today
hope we
that
don't actually. I really
Yeah,
hope
we
we
don't
don't.
deserve it, dude.
yeah,
We
we
don't
don't
deserve
deserve
it.
it.
We don't. We don't.
Lekin we need Bangladesh to beat New Zealand.
नहीं
New
होगा. I
Zealand
hope
to
Bangladesh beats us. I really hope they
Yeah,
beat
that
our
would be
ass.
epic in Pakistani and Rawalpindi.
Oh shit.
Shame on us. I think we deserve that shame. We need that shame. We need like more shame. That's the
So
only way things might change if
so
they
we
do.
need Bangladesh to beat New Zealand, New Zealand to lose to India, and then we need to beat Bangladesh by a huge margin by like 200 some ish runs. I think that way we'll have a three-way tie at number two for the group. So let's see what happens. The
हमें
Pakistan
माफ कर
math
दो.
has started.
हमें
The,
माफ कर दो.
the Pakistan math has started.
Zaid, the Pakistani match started before the
Before
trophy
the
began,
tournament
before
started,
the
yeah.
tournament, I swear. I saw a tweet a week ago before match New Zealand saying, once we lose, here's how we qualify.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, what
know.
is this, bro?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you sent me that. I
Yeah, I
remember.
sent you that. Yeah.
The thing is that uh, the thing is like we have to like because we always start off these tournaments slow. That's why that New Zealand game was such a big deal, right? Like India was a second game. It's a
Yeah,
high pressure game. We basically never beat them. So like you had to win against New Zealand. That's why that game ended up being so important.
yep,
And that lack of intent that we showed chasing 320 was just unbelievable.
unbelievable. Yeah, that's the word.
And now we're here and we're laying in our bed. We made that shit, right? The selectors, the team. I mean, man, I haven't slept in like 2 days. Like, I was gonna sleep before the game because like I was like, all right, it's gonna be at 3 o'clock. But like I was so
Yeah, three.
energized, so pumped up, and then like after the game, like I tried to sleep and just that's
Both are luckily.
Honestly, I had to force myself to sleep because I'm like, there's still 2.5 hours left for the match, and I just could not wait. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to sleep. And I woke up at 3, and I saw that we had won the toss. I'm like, okay, thank God. And I honestly thought that, we'd put up a fight. I was hoping against hope. I wasn't confident, but I was like, at least ask to
Yeah,
kari
inshallah,
leenge.
ho
It's a
jaye.
do or die. It's a
I
do or
saw a
die.
stat that Pakistan lost their first game in Champions Trophy 2017. They lost their first match in the 1992 World Cup. So like I was like maybe man there's a chance that these guys wake up, but like I don't know what it is with Pakistan
20,
like the last like year and a half since the 2023 World Cup in big tournaments we've just been
yeah, yeah,
ish like
since
losing to
then.
USA, losing to
Bro,
Afghanistan.
we
I
we
was at the
haven't
USA
qualified.
game, by the way. I
I
saw
was
that
there
live.
too.
Oh, he was
Yes,
there
yeah,
too.
bro.
We
I
saw
knew we
that
were gonna
shit
lose. Yeah,
live.
yeah. That was
Like,
the most epic.
Oh
Oh
my
my gosh.
and
God.
then in the 22 World Cup before that, we lost to Zimbabwe in the group stage. It's like, dude, like
Mm,
we've just traditionally started off slow in every tournament and just not been able to capitalize on the games that you should win, and that's just where it's going wrong. I just hope that there's, I think, a 2020 World Cup in 26 and the 50 over World Cup in 27. I just hope that they inject some new blood. That's all I hope for.
माफ कर दो
अगर
bro.
हार रहे हैं तो एटलीस्ट यार नए बंदों को ट्राई करो, लाइक प्ले विद द न्यू गाइज.
मुझे लगता है वासे को जाना पड़ जाएगा पाकिस्तान और कहना पड़ेगा भाई मुझे
You
दो.
might as well, bro. I think we need to hold a training session at Equinox. Wallahi, these guys are cramping, dude. Like they're playing 50, 60 balls, cramping up. Like they can't run. Like that's why South Shaquille got out. I swear. I told them
Mhm.
I was watching with my brothers, my cousins, and my dad. I was like, he's not being able to run now. He's gonna play a shot and he's gonna get out. And that's what happened. Like, uh, okay, let's look forward to the Champions Trophy. I mean, we have a game against Bangladesh. I don't think anyone's that hyped for it, but like. Now that Pakistan's basically out, who do you guys think is the favorite to win it all?
Um,
New
Dude, I think
Zealand.
it's gonna be between New Zealand and Now I'm saying Australia. I know I had England and South Africa coming out of Group B, but I mean that Australia chase in Lahore was epic, man.
It
But
was.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
That's how you play. That's the game. That's the way to play the game, not the way we play. And the sad thing is that we're the hosts, so because
How
it's
embarrassing is that? यानी
we won't
सोच भी
even.
नहीं है कि-
How do you expect the crowds to come out and support you? Because I mean, like Ramiza just said, a point will come when people are just not going to show up and your stadiums are going to be empty. And I feel like that's
It's already
we're
empty
almost
in
there.
Karachi. You
Yeah,
don't have a problem
exactly.
there. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I
Even though
mean,
South is a Karachi boy, but anyway, whatever.
I
Yeah,
think
Karachi.
India is gonna be probably playing the semifinal for sure. I mean, they're basically in already.
Yeah, they're in. Yeah.
So basically, there probably is a chance that the final is gonna be in Dubai because India is gonna make the final. And I think the only team that जो इंडिया का बाप है वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया है. So I think Australia has the best chance to beat India. If anything, maybe New Zealand. I think
New
these are the
Zealand, I
two
think.
strongest teams
Yeah.
that can give India a run for their money, just the overall build of the team. And they
Even
just
though
don't play scared.
Australia's main players are all out, but it's just their mindset. It's the way they
Yeah,
think and the way they play and the way they fight that you're just scared of them. Even their smaller, like any player you pick up, they all have that we're gonna win
they're
mindset.
oozing confidence. That's the
Yeah,
thing. And
confidence,
the thing
exactly.
is that our guys, they're literally playing के next series में
बच
selection
जाएं,
हो जाए
बच
या बच
जाएं.
जाए. That's how like
Blocking की
look,
game है, blocking की
yeah,
game.
like Sao Shaquille, yeah, he scored, but like, dude, I feel like that game, like that innings, he's now gonna be in the Bangladesh game too. Like he's gonna play, right? So like you like if you're making 60s, 70s, you have to turn those into
In the
hundreds
hundreds, yeah.
Exactly,
as big players,
exactly.
as professional players, man.
Yep,
You're batting
yep,
at number 3 for Pakistan. You're not like a
yep.
number 7 batsman, which is another case in itself that he shouldn't be batting at number 3 anyway. But that's here and there. I think if anyone
I
has
don't
any other closing thoughts, go
I
ahead.
don't
But
mind South. I don't mind South because he's a young player, so it's okay. I can still back him, and if he doesn't perform as well as we expect him to, he'll eventually, inshallah, get there. But at least don't just like kick him out and bring us, an old player who hasn't played in 2 years, who was never good. उसको आगे खड़ा कर देंगे.
I
Just take
think
out the old blood and bring in the new one. Like you said, if we lose from them, it's okay. We have to
I
keep trying, and don't tell
Can
me we
I
don't have players because we
yeah,
do.
yeah, go ahead.
can I add one thing too? Is to be honest, I don't know what the actual age is of these players too. Because on paper they're saying they've been 22 for 10 years. So I don't know what their actual age is. And B, the PCB chairman, I think after that 2023 World Cup we had in India, again we didn't qualify. We got knocked out group stage. He said that, we're gonna have a surgical operation. What the hell was a surgical operation, by like
उसको
basically
No
बोलना
Bobby
चाहिए,
surgical
उसका
operations though.
ऑपरेशन कौन करेगा?
yeah,
उसकी सर्जिकल ऑपरेशन कौन करेगा?
yeah, surgical operation. Shoot, man.
Oh man. I mean, I think
Disappointing.
let's if I was the chairman, I would make some crazy moves. I would remove Rizwan. I would remove Babar. I would make Salman Ali Aga the captain for the ODI team at least, and try to build from there. You have Saim Ayub, Abdullah Shafiq, guy who literally got left out because he had 3 or 4 poor games when he played very well in the 23 World Cup, and he's a guy who can score a century
Open.
and win you the match. And there's just a bunch of young guys. I mean, I honestly am on the train that Shadab should have been called back on this in this tournament and given a chance on these pitches, especially when you're lacking some kind
Spin.
of spin options. He's
Then
a wrist spinner. Like we saw Kuldeep bowl really, really well. I mean, obviously he's not as good as Kuldeep, but I think he brought balance to the team. Like bringing guys in like Kushdil and Tayyab who haven't been with the team for so long. I just think they ruined the team composition. So yeah, favoritism. I mean, Kushdil is Rizwan's boy, so he's bowling the most overs. He's like,
even
I
Shadab is his boy though. I don't think he has a case for him anymore. सीधे चल तू बैठ जा मैं इसको रखता हूँ. फिर वो
at this
बैठेगा
point
फिर
bring
तू
in
आ
the
जाना.
original match winner, Muhammad Nawaz.
Fuck on, Sam, bro. That guy cost us so many crucial games that just hearing his name, whatever. How am I gonna say it?
Yeah, so I mean, we have a match for Bangladesh. I don't know if Vase and I are gonna cover that game. We probably will because we have nothing else better to do. So I mean, I'll keep watching. I'm gonna follow, but definitely lost a lot of steam and a lot of energy today. Just like I just had so much like energy and hope going into the game, and just they let 245 million people down. I mean,
As usual.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for me. If you guys have any closing thoughts, otherwise we'll wrap it up. And I appreciate everybody for joining. This was a hard episode to do, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I just wanna thank the host and you as well, Sania, for
Yeah,
taking
thank
out the
you. Thanks,
time.
guys.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Peace.
Bye.